And welcome to the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships 2024, located at Tomaree Sports Complex at Nelson Bay, New South Wales. About to watch a very good match to open us up, kick us off for the season. We've got Lunchbox or Juicebox from Brisbane in white from the right, and Jabberwocky in black from Canberra on our left as we see it. We had a bit of rain overnight. It was quite a good night here as far as that goes. Fields are firm, they're not too sloppy, there's no big wet patches, no mud. We are looking for some great games, some great layouts at the moment, and this should be the game for it. Amongst other things, the Brisbane team, Juicebox, when they played at AMUC, they did, this is quoting from their Facebook page, a lot of monstrous foot blocks and gratuitous layouts, and sometimes some very nice offensive flow and defensive pressure. Let's see if they can repeat that from their AMUC finals. So it looks like we have Juicebox on right, they're going to pull. Wind's just picking up a little bit. We're not expecting some rain, bit of overcast skies here. It's a lovely pull there. Heading towards Jabberwock, and that's just received, fielded well, centred to Liz de Hoog. A bit of a shutdown there in the middle, but gets it off nicely. Now with Needle, goes back to de Hoog. So nice defensive pressure here starting off with this Juicebox team as it makes its way up to the middle of the field. Small dump there and swing. That's a bit over the head. She's got that though. So Needle up the sideline. Great throw there to Shellard to open the account for Jabberwocky, 1-0. So these two teams are seeded number 5 for Jabberwocky and number 8 for Lunchbox in Pool B. Anson Chung is the coach of the Juicebox team, alongside Suman Rowe. And also, Juicebox are looking to go to World Ultimate Clubs. So good luck to them. They have no expectations at the moment of where they're going to finish here, but they'd like to finish above their seeding. I think most teams would agree with that statement. Juicebox puts their hand up, just waiting for the pull. So wind coming a little bit from behind us. So going across to the far side of your screen and also slightly to the right as well. Juicebox stuck deep in their defensive territory at the moment. Maybe looking for something to throw off. There's a strong cut down the side, high stall count. It's a nice swing. And back. So Cameron doing a lot of work there. Jabberwock with a great interception now. And they make their second score. So Jabberwocky will be very happy with their opening statement here. Get the first offensive score and manage to get the D in the second point. Really trapping that juice box team. Welcome to all our viewers around Australia and indeed around the world who are looking at this Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships here in Nelson Bay. We really appreciate you coming in on this ULTI.TV live stream, coming to you from Nelson Bay. Hand goes up, Jabberwock. I'm going to say Jabberwock instead of Jabberwocky. I'm just used to that. My apologies for the Jabberwocky team. See if I can get my head in the game as well. Thomas receiving that pull nicely. There's a nice strong cut there from Koenig. Gets it just over the halfway line. Swing around. Pung. Nice receive. Bit of clogging in that throwing lane. Something nice and wide there, but could be, oh, almost thought it was going to be a layout D there. Juice Box getting their first score of the game, opening their account. They'll be happy to settle into that. So this Pool B contains Jabberwocky, Lunchbox, Crank and Bullseye. They are the top two teams in this Pool B. Sorry, they aren't not the top two. Half Moon is at the top. I forgot that one there. So they are third and fourth in Pool B. We can see there Anson Chung dressed by himself, really wants to make a statement there. In the middle, calling the line. Hand goes up as we get a pull by Maduro. Apologies if I've said that one incorrectly as well. Jabberwocky looking for something deep. Gets a mid-sized throw off there. 2, 3 grabs, not quite. Goes out over the sideline, beats him. So Cameron's asking for his team to come in a bit shorter, a bit too deep. Remembering that we probably have a slight left to right feel as far as the wind goes. It wasn't a bad look, just had a bit of edge on it, which made it drop a bit too soon. Probably wanted that more out to the right side of the field as she was looking down the field. Another long look. Deep cut. Swings across to Svatos. Up the sideline, we now have Jackson. Looks for something big. Spelled Wind takes a lovely grab in the end zone. He's their spirit captain, Ollie Spelled Wind. Again, my apologies for any mispronunciations. That was a good, strong, long throw. Held up by the wind. Nice angle, nice edge. And Spelled Wind coming up with one of the easiest of catches you'll ever see. Sun's coming out, which is going to be nice for the players. Miriam Downey, their captain, pulls it to about 3/4 of the field. Juice box is a bit of a round, but that's collected. Almost an error. Thomas doing a lot of the handling. Wong there. Back to Wong. A lot of cramming from this juice box team. Got a lot of players around the disc at the moment, which isn't helping their cause. Means there are a lot of defenders there as well. Probably looking for a big swing. Again, high stall count. Nice zone put on by the Jabberwocky team at the moment. But they break out of it. They've really got to use it a little bit more when they break out of the zone. Salisbury brings it to the middle to Thomas. Thomas is almost straight to the defender, Helig Smith, but in the end beats everyone over the back line. Jabberwocky walk it to the line. There's a big air hut on that one. So it's just going to be a competition who reads it best. And the defender had great position there. Just making sure the Jabberwocky receiver couldn't get behind her. Nice one-handed layout there by Spielman to save the day. Georgiadis looking for something on the far sideline. Does a small up the line cut as well. That was, and we have a call on that one. So it's a nice flat one coming across now. Rayo's got the disc. Goes back to Georgiadis. Spielman in amongst the thick of things. A few little give and goes there. Up the sideline. Oh, and that's a good defensive position, but Spielman got that. And while the defender was recovering, we get a centering throw to Fleming, who has an easy score. So nothing in it at the moment. Score is 3-2. Jabberwocky up by 1. So you'll notice as you watch this live stream, we have our game advisors in green. Gaunt with a nice pull. So I suspect we'll see a lot of our scoring going from right to left of screen, just with the slight breeze that we have here, as I said before. There's a put there by Jackson. Just pushing it a little bit too far to the right. Burrows cuts in. It's looked off. Now looking for a handler cut and a fill. Nothing's coming. Just going to have to put it long if that stall count's getting up. It goes around, but I think that's going to be intercepted quite easily by Jabberwocky, and it is. as it swung across to Shellard. Shellard brings it across to the close sideline. Movement into the middle. That's fantastic work to see. Kershaw receives. Bit of a stretch out there by Shellard. Has to pull that one back in. Runs up the sideline. Nice high jump there by Spados. We've got Jackson down the line, but no one there from Jabberwocky to back that one up as it floats over the receiver's head. So Jackson needing to settle into his throws a bit more to make sure his receivers can actually catch that disc. We get a strong cut in there by Burrows now. Let's see how far Juicebox can bring up the field. And that's going to go across. There's a bit of blade on that. But again, Jabberwocky comes up with the intercept. And that's going to go over the head as well. So it's a double turn. Juicebox now close to the end zone. Looking to find something to bring it home. And that's not going to do it. Burden a little bit disappointed with that throw, but there's 2-on-1 upfield. Well defended there. Another player free over the far side if you can get that swing across. Still got the strong sideline and an easy score in the end by Jabberwocky, with Jackson receiving the disc as the two hands go up by the game advisors just to confirm that. So we do have a score of 4-2 to Jabberwocky. Alex Smith with the pull for Jabberwocky. That's floating nicely, comes down very easily for the catch. Nice strong sideline, give go. Wong looking solid, receives it, looking for another give go if she can. That one goes through the Juicebox hands. No intercept, but a turn nonetheless. Jabberwocky now with disc in hand. Has to do a layout there. Doesn't get the disc. And we'll see an immediate double turn again. Jabberwocky moving it from the middle of the field. Not a lot going on in the deep space. Asking for a stack to be formed in the middle of the field. Alex Smith putting one very long and deep. That's a nice score there. Eight fields here, all of them looking nice today. We've got 4 streams for you today, 4 streams for you tomorrow. We've got quarterfinals starting tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. We have 6 games to stream before we get to the quarterfinals. As we're looking for a quick time out.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finny, he's done it.
So Juice Box looking for a few more unders, a few more cuts, just to help out their handlers. So both teams yet to hit top speed, just finding their way, warming themselves into the game. Downey with a pull, bit of a bob there from the disc, showing a little bit of wind in the air. Again, not too strong at the moment though, as the disc gets centered to Gaunt, looking for something upfield, gets a nice in cut there. Gaunt with the disc again. Strong movement from Pringle, who receives the disc back to Gaunt. Something free on the far side. He doesn't see that. He wants home. And just pushes a little bit while looking for home plate. 2 receivers in the area, but the disc not sitting up. Not quite a worm burner, but still in that vicinity. Downey, nice cut. Helig Smith. So got something long there. That should be into... Oh, spoke too soon. 2 defenders there. Could have been easily brought down, but it wasn't. Missed opportunity there from Juice Box. And Chen just doesn't read that cut by Spratt and gets thrown away. So both teams, I feel, need to lift their accuracy and decision making in their handlers to make sure that they can move this disc with a bit more flow, a bit more accuracy. That'll really keep their team's hopes alive. Bit of a bubble there. Gets put into the middle to Chen. Chen giving it back to Downey. Nice movement there by Helig Smith. Puts it up in the air, but that probably drops short, and it does. So nice defense by Bowden there to be able to read that. Gaunt now with a big swing across the side. Madua puts it up the sideline again. Big fake there by Pringle. Pringle puts it up, has a lot of faith in the receiver, Cameron. And a nice defensive pressure there by Jabberwocky. So wind picks up. Straight away we get a turn, but we get a call as well. So play is stopped for a second as they discuss what's going on there. Trying to decipher the gestures there by the Jabberwocky player. Just waiting for discs to be brought back into play, and now we have a solid tap in. No premature movement that's there. John swings it nicely to Wang. Wang back to the far side. Good defense there by Juicebox. Again, not a lot coming. But Madua has the big arm, and that's going to stay in the air for a long time. Gives Cameron a lot of hope. Needs backup there. Got a few options there. Oh, that's a nice put in front of the receiver, Madua. And an easy score for Juicebox. That's what they will be looking for a lot more of in the rest of this match. That was a great huck to start them off, and that's what they need more of. A bit more confidence from their handlers, from their throwers, their big throwers, to give them that score. So that timeout obviously working for Juicebox there. A call they had probably intended when they were in the hole by 3 or more, which they were at that point in time. Often those timeout calls don't end in success, but this time, definite payoff there for the Juicebox team. So Anson Chun having a lot of say at the moment and trying to get his team into a position where they can have this really nice comeback. As I said at the start, they're looking for world clubs, position there. And so they will be looking for their players to dig deep, especially when they get in these negative situations where they're down by a few. Fleming with pulling duties there for Juicebox that time. Sits nicely, hits the sideline. Swings back to the middle. Jackson looks for a give, go up the sideline. He's got that. Looking for something deep. He's got 2 deep. Goes for the cross-field huck. Either of them can raffle it, as long as they call it between themselves. And there's a travel. Is there a travel call? No, there isn't a travel call. So I thought there was a travel call. That's a nice score by Jabberwocky. I think it was roughly 3 throws and score. So taking a lead from the previous point from Juicebox. And they stretch it out to 3 again. I thought that was really good play then by Jabberwocky. They had 2 receivers heading up either side of the field, which really split their defense. I think it was a semi-zone defense. They only had one, Juicebox only had one defender deep, so good play by Jabberwocky to see that and split that defender and then throwing across field into the middle third, and then either of the defenders could have run onto that and raffled it between them, as I said. So more play like that from any team here is going to produce good results. It's going to get you the W on the board. Young with the pull for Jabberwocky. Centered to Ellis. Ellis goes for the swing. He wants something deep. Does a bit of directing, but not getting what he wants. Medua on the sideline needs to watch a footing. That was very, very close. Might need to see that on replay. No call there. Swings it back. Defense by Chen on Jabberwocky on that middle player, trying to force things backward. Winds it up. Big fake. There's another big fake for that flick. Throws it under. Riley up the sideline. That's over everyone, but Jabberwocky will get the easy defense. Again, looking at the receiver on that Jabberwocky team who wanted it deep, which was Young, just travelling quite slowly at the moment. That's out by quite a way. Juice box, bring up the sideline. Medua still there. Be nice to put that one to her. She wants that one. She's cutting back. And the throw is just a little bit too late there by Pringle. Really didn't read that cut from Medua. Young looking off a lot of cuts. Puts one high. And it comes down by Medua. He's played a really good game so far and sees an easy score there to punch it in. Juicebox holding on, trailing by 2. Score 6-4. So now I'm liking the look of this Juicebox team. They've got a few players on the field listening to what their coach has to say so they can support their team from the sideline. It's definitely one of the ways that they can get back into the game. Big pull by Spielman. That makes the length of the field. just shy of the defensive goal line. Speldevinder puts one up. That's going to float for a while. I have a feeling, oh, there was a foul call there, but retracted as the disc went to ground. There was a bit of a pick there as the defense went in front of him. Hard to say how intentional that was. But I thought it was a good look overall. Just disc was in the air a little bit too long. Nice grab there by Koning. Looking to Thomas. Thomas putting it up high. That's going to stay in the air for a while as well. I have a feeling that Shellard could bring that down, but he doesn't. Has a look to see if there was maybe anything there, and there wasn't. And Samuel Koenig coming down with that sky. Going up for juice box. You can hear the juice box sideline at the moment. They're wrapped with that. That's definitely going to lift them as they come back to within one. Score is 6-5. As the juice box players come off, they are all wrapped. They are just ecstatic about what they just saw there, and that is might be the start of a game lifting effort there. Schubert with a disc now for Jabberwocky. As Speldevinder puts it across. Needle to Jackson. Jackson looking at the back of the end zone. Liz De Hoog making it look very easy. I like the fact they use the depth of that end zone there. Again, you don't see that too often. A lot of the teams looking for that maybe first half of the end zone, but this time going up the sideline, using the full depth of the end zone, where a lot of defenders forget about putting the effort in. So we have a game score 7-5 at the moment. So Jabberwocky will be looking to get the D on this, just one D. And then bringing it home for half time. Rosa Wang with the pull, about 2/3 of the way down the field. The disc is put to Eleanor Koning. Nice swing over to Thomas. Thomas asking for some more cuts under. couple of strong cuts there, but they weren't seen. They were looked off. Has to swing it. Goes for a handler cut. Swing around is well defended there by the mark. And we have there Rayo puts one up high. I'm not too sure what that was supposed to be, but an easy turnover for Jabberwocky to get back into their offensive flow here. Helig Smith to Spratt. Spratt's got the up the line cut there. Helig Smith back to the middle to Young. Young looking for something either side. Has to go for the dump. And that'll close the door as we have Helig Smith to Garbut. And I think that brings up half time. And the score is 8-5. So we'll be back shortly. Feel free to take a short break. I can't. We have an ultimate survey for you to look at as well. So if you could fill that in if you're looking at this live stream, especially if you're in Australia looking for your feedback. I think there is a QR code on the screen. No QR code, I've just been informed. My apologies for that. And we'll be back after these short messages.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlicker Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe ULTI.TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of ULTI.TV.
Regardez ULTI.TV.
Deviens un membre d'ULTI.TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top ULTI.TV. Följ med Ultimate of Andromeda.
Si quieres ayudar a ULTI.TV, puedes ser miembro de ULTI.TV.
Everyone, follow ULTI.TV on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love Frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på ULTI.TV.
Became member
of ULTI.TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec ULTI.TV.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
With thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
we work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Are you in support of this review?
Yep. I think review is always a good idea. It doesn't necessarily have to amount to significant changes. It may well do, and that would be great. But yeah, a review is always a good idea, especially after such a long period since the last time it was reviewed. We're kind of, the calendar's sort of evolved into where it is without any sort of significant planning, I think. So that's my perception. So yeah, a review and planning of a revised calendar is probably a good idea.
What changes do you personally want to see AFTA make, and why?
I would like to try to remove the division between the open women's and the mixed division and have them play together. That may not be practical straight off the bat, but I think it would open more opportunities for players in all three of those divisions to get more opportunities.
How do you think a consolidated calendar would benefit or affect the GAs?
Currently they're separated by 6 months. If they're separated by a few weeks or 1 or 2 months, then that could potentially be a little more difficult for some of the game advisors to participate at both of those events, where they might be able to do that at the moment a bit more easily. Possibly it makes it more accessible for other people that want to become game advisors and participate. Maybe they can get new opportunities there.
Why is it important that everyone gets involved in the process and has a say in this national calendar review?
Well, it's for everybody, and so everyone should have some input into what suits them. There's probably a large number of people that really enjoy the calendar the way it is now and prefer to be able to play either or both open women's or in the mixed division event. They can do both, or they can choose one and just focus on that. So, yeah, I think having input from everyone is going to be helpful. Each state has its own local competitions, its own climate, things that suit players in a particular area better than others. Having all that extra input is going to be important.
Welcome back as we start the second half of this game between Lunchbox Juicebox, who are number 8 in Pool B, and Jabberwocky, who are number 5 in Pool B. We have the score 8-5. First half story, Jabberwocky got away to a lead of 2, then 3, and sort of maintained that throughout the first half. Juicebox took a timeout, looking to get back into the game. Let's see if they can make a move in this second half. Sun's out, guns out, as they say. Wind is dying a little bit. Still a little bit of a left to right breeze though. And Cameron looks for the undercut, gets that, and that's followed through with Ellis. Ellis a few fakes. No dump, so no fill there at the moment. Goes across, that's a very narrow window of opportunity there, but he makes it look easy, threading that needle. So I think there's a pick called in there. Cameron, I think, will end up with the disc. No, gives it back to Riley. So still got Cameron there as an easy dump. No, it's going back to Cameron now. It's probably better for the Juicebox team having it in the hands of Cameron, who's their spirit captain. A nice fake out, but that throw is just over the top and almost brought down. And that's going to float nicely, I think. If he milks it, should be able to take it into the end zone. Doesn't quite, jumps early, so gets the catch instead. So Garber looking for some support there. Gets it in the end. Now we've got a bit more stagnant there. And that looks like Spratt, Grace Spratt, to open up the account in the second half. So score 9-5 to Jabberwocky. Clegg Smith with a pull for Jabberwocky. So a lot of things being looked off there from Juicebox. Should be a nice up the line there. Now we get a bit of flow going. Samuel Koenig. So Spielman back to Thomas. Moving it across field. Looks for something deep. Got a couple of contenders there. But again, here we go. Samuel Koenig going up in the air, taking it to the next level, brings out the step ladder, maybe even a bit more. So this Jabberwocky team from Canberra just started last year. The first year coach was Mikey Hartfield. My understanding is also that before they did their debut season at the Mixed Ultimate Championships, they did an escape room. I'd like to know if they won it or not as part of their bonding. And St Chun with a bit more direction there, as we can see. And Maduoa again with a pull. Oh, looking for something deep. There's a nice easy under there as well. A couple of players free. Looking across field, Kershaw finds that free player. A lot of give-go there. And we have Zvados working overtime in that midfield. Gets free again. Quite a number of touches for him now. Puts it in the hands of Needle, who's been strong all game. And again, that's a, speaking of Needle, that's threading one straight through to her teammate, Andrew Jackson, amongst three defenders. Not an easy feat, but well done. Can see there, Needle. We've got the three defenders all the way around her receiver. Score is 10-6 to Jabberwocky. Eleanor Koenig, who makes short work of that point. And Juiceprox bring it back to more respectable 10-7. Juice box with the pull. Sam Gaunt with the pulling duties then, as the disc gets centred to Jackson. Nice cut under there by Shellard. Up the field again. Needle's been doing a lot of good work, and that's just thrown a bit behind, left up in the air. Possibility for a second chance there by Speldevinder. Ah, look at that. Great read there by Needle. She's going, wants it long, but another cut under. Might be able to get it this time. She goes down the line. That's not on, so we get a big swing back defensively. Speldevinder on the end of that as Needle comes in under. Now with Schubert. Schubert up the line. And I think that was Vados who gets the score for Jabberwocky. Jabberwocky now leading 11-7. Alex Smith with the pull. That is going to land just out and looking for a hand up. There it goes. That'll be brought back to the brick mark. So Wong leaving that for Hung. So we've got something akin to an ISO, maybe a split stack. Look from Juice Box. That's nice from a set play. Something different, gives them some space, opens up the field as it goes up the field to Fleming. Fleming looking for a cut under and receives it in the form of Koning. And that's going over the top, but the second grab effort not quite there as Andy Chen gets in the way defensively of that one. Two cuts at the same time. Can't have that happening on the field. Deadman gets the disc. Goes back to Chen. De Silva looked off. Comes around now. Will he get it? Spratt. Down he sends it. That's a nice look as well. Should be an easy bring down there by Alex Smith. Now Jabberwocky finding a little bit more flow as we have Juice Box stalling at the moment. Can they dig deep? Can they find something else in that lunchbox to pull out? Give them a bit of stamina. We have Chuck back, Kookaburra. Chuck has been with us. He's going to be our mascot. We're looking to get maybe some Chuck plushies made. When we do that, look out for Chuck as part of the ULTI.TV merchandise. If you are filling out that form, maybe write in hashtag Chuck. We want Chuck, more of Chuck. And we'll see if we can get more of him or her, I'm not too sure, in more of the live streams we have this weekend. So Jabberwocky extending their lead 12-7 now. The question is, have Juicebox given up? Do they have anything else in the lunchbox to pull out? A bit of a zone look from Jabberwocky. Some counts intimating that it could be changed back to man at any time. Match. Strong grab there. That was really good actually by Bowden. Ellis doing directing, not getting what he wants, so looks on to Jahanzi and Kanete. Big wind up, no one's fooled by that one. That's a big long swing out there. Comes back, Bowden. Has been solid all game with her catches. It's been really good there. Riley back to Bowden. Johansen. Bowden. Just small gains. Shut down, something behind her. Not shouted for, so gives it back to the middle. Burrows does a big swing over to the far sideline. Stokes has it. Back to Ellis. Not a lot of movement from their cutters. One out wide, sees her. That's a good call, hand up from Riley. Maduara. Still free, there's an easy dump there. Back to Maduara. Bowden brings them all close. Runs through that zone. Popping through. Goes out wide, Riley again. Lady strong, it's a handler set. Trying to figure out what's going on in the back. If they get one to that back corner, I have a feeling they have a chance. That one's up quite high though. Stokes with the disc, being forced backwards a little now. The little bit of more popping through that middle from Ellis. Ellis gets the call from Stokes, gets it. Stokes over the top. They're making hard work for themselves here. And there's the turn. That's what the zone's been designed for. And Rosa Wang read that very nicely. Timeout called there by Alex Young. Now, it's an interesting timeout there. I have a feeling Juicebox needed that timeout more than Jabberwocky did. But again, maybe for the benefit of those who were running in that zone, going back and forth. So coming back into play now, Young, who called that timeout. He's picked up the disc. And they're going for a horizontal look now. Expect one cut deep and one under. Maybe doubling that up. With a few cutbacks. De Silva looking in. Nice mark there to shut all that down. Now we collapse back into a vertical stack. A lot of hang time on that one from Chen. Big swing across, bit of body contact, nothing called at the moment. De Silva with the disc at the moment. Defense wasn't too sure where that disc went down. Comes through, body contact, but a strong grab there in the end by Deadman. As Juicebox have gone 4 points in a row without answering Jabberwocky's points tally. Just reminding viewers out there, we do have games all day today. This is game number 1 in our live stream. As Liz de Hoog pulls the disc and just a metre outside. Zach Thomas bringing the disc in to the brick mark. On the mark, Speldevinder. A bit of a stall happening. Nice bigger round, Wong. Like to see Wong used a bit more. Salisbury now with the disc in hand and a very stagnant stack. Back to Wong. Using the ladies nicely here. Fleming now with the disc. Wong just shouldering her way past her defender. Looking down the sideline, nothing happening there. There's a nice cut by Hung. Hung to Fleming, Adrian Fleming with the score. So all of a sudden, Juicebox looking like they are a little bit more hungry than they have been in the last 4 points, getting that score. You can see that movement there, getting a bit static, getting that break throw off, and then a nice inside throw. Had to stretch out for that one. But in the end, Adrian Fleming making it look easy. Solid hands, solid catch. Juicebox with a bit of work ahead of them if they want to narrow this scoreline and even take the lead. Do they have what it takes? Can Anson Chung lift this team? Can he inspire them? Can he bring something out of his own lunchbox, put it in the mix, put it in the hands of his team and say, here, eat this. Start doing some trading of food. As James Cameron pulls that disc down to the brick mark. A few fakes there. We now have Jackson with the disc. A lot of options and opportunity here for Jackson. Speldevinder brings it across here. Svados into the centre. Have Kershaw with the disc at the moment. Back to Jackson. Losing a lot of ground on that just to make sure of it. Nice cut up the line by De Hoog. De Hoog sends it back, but I think there was miscommunication on both receiver and handler there. G-Spock's not rushing to that disc. Gaunt wanting to make sure that his team are well set up. They've set up in a hose stack at the moment. Can Samuel Gaunt steady the ship with a few nice throws? Bit of captaincy. And that was always going to be an iffy throw as the receiver was shoulder to shoulder, and he's just showing that at the moment. Cameron having a discussion there with his defender. They were neck and neck as the game advisor comes in. Won't give an opinion unless asked for, and that opinion won't be binding. So they'll just talk it out at the moment between them. But we definitely saw that there. That there was a bit of shoulder to shoulder action. And we did have Cameron just trailing a little bit as the game advisor now comes in. It's asking for some sideline opinion as well as what they saw. Both game advisors now in the action. This is going on at 30 seconds. They'll be ushered into some sort of resolution. And it's an uncontested foul. So Cameron does get that disc in the end. And Svados taps it back into play. So Cameron looking upfield for some upfield cuts. That's nicely put into the hands of Gaunt. Gaunt with 1 foot right on that sideline there. Doesn't want to travel, bring it out. That was a great layout bid. He did get a hand to that, I have a feel. And that was Shellard, Sam Shellard there showing some acrobatics, bringing to life what has been a good game, but nothing outstanding until we saw that layout. So that'll go into the highlights reel for sure. That one's a nice early look and float down the sideline. Unfortunately, Kathleen Kershaw can't reel that one in. And so Jackson will just put that down to maybe an error from him, pushed far too wide. Didn't read the leg speed of the receiver there. Cuts into space, looks those off. Bit of direction, opportunity for Callaghan territory for Jabberwocky to start looking to end this game if they get Callaghan out of this. Almost a good defensive effort there with a late hand down, but just missed the disc by centimetres. More direction. Pringle up the sideline. That was a fantastic grab. And we have Svados just really wanted to finish that off. And putting a lazy left hand out there. I say lazy. And not quite getting the reel in to finish that point. I thought Svados might have been the go. give him reward for that effort of coming in, rushing in to get that D. He wanted it down the near sideline. Nice inside throw there, but that was just a plain drop by Jackson. And again, just reaching out, not quite reeling that one in. 55 with no one on the mark. Gets an easy 1A. Slight travel is called, and we saw that. There's a travel called on that. This will be brought back. It'll still be brought back. There was a travel by Johansen. That's been retracted now. As there was a turnover, so that's retracted. It has been brought back in straight away. A couple of cuts looked off. That one could go over the head, and it does. Not quite well read there. Stokes comes up with the disc. Now we're looking Cameron in hand. The sideline looks that one off as well. Strong cut, Johansen. Layout bid, I'd like to see that on the highlight reel, but unfortunately didn't get that in. Svados really trying his heart out there. And now Juice Box, looking hungry, getting the last 2 points, reeling in bit by bit. They're 4 points in the hole at the moment. You can see here, just on the replay there. Great grab by Svados. And just out of the reach of the deep receiver. A nice layout bid there. Unfortunately, didn't get that. Juice Box. How many points can they claw back? Jabberwocky happy to let that one land. Maybe a bit fearful that there could be a drop as the game draws to a conclusion. Spratt moves it on upfield. Looking for an inside throw, doesn't get that off, so now in the hands of Young, moves it further forward. Spratt back to Young, and Spratt getting a few touches in. That's cut through the middle very nicely. Rosa Wang hands it off to Downey. And that will be the score. De Silva finishes that one off as Jabberwocky now make it 14-9. Jabberwocky with the pull, putting it into the ground. Juice box now with nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's a really good look for just a few throws with a big reward for effort. Cameron bringing that down. I think that was Maduoa with the put. I'd like to see more from her in that department. May not happen in this game, but if she can keep that up for the rest of the tournament, I think Juicebox definitely have an offensive threat there. Bit of a machine going. So as Juicebox make double digits, 14-10 is the score. We'll remind you that we have 3 more games coming up today. At 11:10 local time, we have our next live stream, which is Crank versus Bullseye. They're the bottom 2 of this Pool B. We then bring you Era versus Puggle, and finally Sunflowers versus Ellipsis to end off the day. So a full day of live streaming from ULTI.TV, brought to you free. Always feel we love your support. We love bringing you free Ultimate. Oh, that was a great read there by Schubert, who was the only one. You could see that straight away that she thought the wind was going to bring that back in, and indeed it did. And that not quite out the back. He saw that red line coming up way too quickly, and that put him off. I think that last stride, if he did take that, would have actually brought him out of field anyway. So Juicebox now have an opportunity, and we have gusty winds that have just come up here. You can see the flags down there at the end there. Cameron with a big pull there. We have Jabberwocky setting up in a horizontal line at the moment. Big bust deep there, first of all, by Shellard. Looked off there. Young in hand at the moment, moves up the sideline. Jackson in hand, moves at centre. Shellard back to Jackson. He puts one up.